Alright, it is time to begin proper transformation of our data. So I'm going to go to Edit. So first of all, let us look at some basic transformation tool. So I'm going to start up from this particular, file right here. So this is where we are. I'm just going to uncheck it. So at default, you're going to have something like this. You might be in home. So if you want to take a look at what is going on right here, specifically if you have huge amount of data, so you have to click on view and go to column quality right here. So it gives you the quality of each column. As you can see, we have 66% of the column to actually get filled up with data, and we have 34% to be some kind of blank whatsoever it is. So what can we do now to get this transformed? So we have known what is wrong using the quality right here. So we can just go ahead and see how we can remove them. So first of all, when you go to home, you see some basic way of actually getting your data transformed and getting things removed from your table. So here we're going to have to remove those particular blank rows from the top. So what I'm going to do right now, I can actually count from here: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let's see how to actually get rid of this particular blank, 6 blanks. So what I'm going to do right now is to use here where it says reduce rows. So if I click on it right now, it says top rows. So clicking on top rows now, it's going to give us this. And now it's asking us how many rows do we want to remove. I'm going to put my 6 right here. So by the time I click on this OK right now, watch what will happen to the step area. So it's going to add new step for us. So what happens here is this. It's telling you what you have done. Removed top row. So if I go back right now, you can see what we have done. And if I click right here right now, this is the step. So right here in Power Query, we don't have something like Ctrl+Z and Ctrl+Y to redo or undo. So what we have is going back to the steps we've added and remove anyone we don't want from it. By clicking right here, it removes the steps you don't want. That is that. So we want this step, we can keep it. So the next thing right now is the header. As you can see, the header is not actually on the right position. So we have column 1 to the last column. So use this particular part where it says used first row as header under home to actually get this column promoted to the top. So can you see that? So we have another, changes. Two steps was kind of added for us. The first step is promoted header, which is this one right here. And the second step is Power Query to be able to change the data type for us automatically. So we are not really much satisfied with what Power Query has done. So you can actually cross-check to see those data types you have right here if they are actually correct. So absolutely, Power Query, we're able to actually get it right. That is okay. So what can we do today? So if you actually click on this right now, you can see we still have null. So this particular block shows that you have something going on with your data. Well, it's not critical, that is why you have it on black. If it is very critical, you would have it on red. So this yellow color shows that on this particular part, nothing. If you have a column that has nothing or no error, no any unwanted characters, you have it completely on green. So how do we do that? So we don't have huge amount of data right here. If we just go down now, you can see what happened there was that somebody actually tried to check how many, stores we have by running some calculation in Microsoft Excel interface using the worksheets. So now how do we remove this? You can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you can go right here under home. So you click on here. So we use the top. So now we can use remove bottom rows. So with that, we can put 7 right here. And once we click on OK, what happens? It's actually gone. So can you see what I'm talking about? So you don't see that black thing right here right now. So we have 100% valid, data inside each and every one of our columns. But we're not really sure yet. What if we just navigate to this part right here? So what do you see? You keep seeing everything going okay, but we get to some extent where we don't have nothing. But this part right here is telling us that we have this data. So what we can do is to remove this. So we can just decide to remove this column as well, those columns, because they're going to actually be loaded into our, our pivot, our Power Pivot. So I can hold my shift key to highlight those areas where I don't want anything to load into my Power Pivot. So what I can do now is for me to actually click either on my desktop, which is the delete key on my desktop. So right now we can see we have what we just want. Okay, right now we have this. One thing I always look at if I actually want to, analyze data is that what columns do I need, and what are those columns I will never use, in the course of analysis. So for the course of this particular lecture, let us see how we can choose the column we want and how we can do away with the column we don't want. That is where we have to see where it says choose column. Under choose column, we have two things going on right here. We have choose columns, we have go to column. So let us go with go to column. So how does go to column works? So go to column will be very much useful to you if you have lots of column, like you have like hundreds of column or 50 columns in your table. So it will be very easy for you to actually go to a particular column right here. If I want to go to a store phone number right now, once I just highlight it, I click right here, it takes me to store phone number. I don't have to start looking where is store phone number like this. No, all you do is just to come right here and choose where you want to go into, and it's going to take you right there ASAP. That is what that one does. Okay, the next one there is choose columns. So now you can actually choose what column you want to keep and which column you want to do away with. So I can actually deselect everything right now. I want to keep my store ID, my region ID, my store type, my store name, and this street address is not really important. I don't want to keep it. I want to get it off. So the store city, I want to keep it. The store state, I want to keep it. The store country, I want to keep it. For store phone number, this particular total square feet, wherever it is, and grocery square feet whatsoever, I don't want them, so I am not going to check them. So if I click on my OK right now, what you will see is under step being added for me that shows that I have actually removed some columns. Now we just have a compressed column right here. What about this? Nicely done. So what we've just done now is for we to actually see how we can reduce rows and manage columns right here. That is nice. So beautiful. So we've just actually done some transformation right for this particular table.